When I made the Hyperride video last week, I was thinking I'll probably not be as serious about this because local ride, I mean, even if I do take it frequently, I probably wouldn't end up recording that. This is what I thought. So this isn't by any magnitude a hyper ride. I mean, we can't call it a hyper ride, but it's certainly not a hyper ride, neither by the distance of it. It's not too much of a different distance, but still, whatever it is, it's not a regular 25-30 kilometer chill ride.
Let's time travel to Chandigarh now and continue there.
So like I said, when I was leaving Delhi, this didn't turn out to be such a hyper ride this weekend after all. Just got over with my shift about an hour back. I thought I'd probably leave for a quick ride around the city. And this is my birthplace, so this always excites me whenever I come here. No matter what else is going on in my mind, no matter how down low I am, just roaming around this city gives you that beautiful, beautiful vibe. And you'll notice why, because you'll notice why. The greenery, the temperature, everything's just picture perfect, or rather feels perfect also, not only visibly. And you know what could have been equally amazing? Exactly what that guy was doing over there. This place is a cyclist's haven. Notice there's a separate lane for that. You can just easily cruise around the city. It just feels bloody awesome. Still, I have to fiddle around with my visor because I don't want to ride with my visor on, but I know I sound if I keep my visor open and then ride. I thought I'd just drive around locally for a little while. Right now, it's exactly about 8 o'clock, right? And well, let's say we left home around 10 minutes back or 15 minutes back, and I was just whiling my time away in the city. Now all of a sudden I decide, let's go uphill, and just notice how much time it takes. I'm gonna drive easy. Your Highness did not bring a spare battery. I have enough memory, but it seems to be that I'll probably have to conserve what I record. So I'm not gonna spend any of that for while I'm driving in the city, and I'll wait till I touch the foothills and I'll turn on my recording over there, because I know I won't be able to take my hands off of the recording button once that starts. I was earlier thinking I'll probably end up meeting my friend. He's a childhood friend, a very dear one. He's a doctor, by the way. Yeah, you don't believe it? I can make intellectual friends too. So, and you know, and he's stuck around for over 2 decades, and since early childhood, right? So, well, could that mean that he's not that intellectual after all? Maybe he's not that intellectual after all.
प्यारी समझ गई.
That's why you should go out on a ride. The realizations that you get standing on the traffic light, waiting for the signal to happen. There are things you realize that you would have otherwise not. I'm using up my battery like a miser though. But look at that. Look at the outline on that one. The moment you start seeing that, you know you're inching closer to Himachal. It's just round the corner actually. Alright, we're over to the Himalayan Expressway. Again, the VVIP lane, no toll. Look at the valley down below. Beautiful place, isn't it? We're nearing Pinjore at the moment. Earlier, the road used to be such we'd go in through the town of Pinjore. Similarly with Parvanu and Kalka and all of that. Now all of that gets bypassed. We don't really have to go in there. So all the traffic gets saved and everything. And the new this expressway that they've made, it offers these views. Amazing, isn't it? Check out the sick sound of the bike, man. Amazing sound though. Amazing sound on that RX 100, man. Bloody brilliant bike. Check out the views off of this road. I have never been able to get. There are a lot of people who drive over the weekends from Chandigarh, from around Punjab. People come here to ride their bikes and cars and whatnot. And a lot of people do that really heavy riding where they just hyper ride and just, whiz through these roads. And I don't know why I've never had the fondness for it. I think I'll probably fast forward all of what I'm seeing right now, and I don't want to be doing that. Look at that. And besides, there's this thing too. It could also be that probably I don't have a sports bike, so maybe it doesn't really, pull me to push the throttle as much. Could be. But on these roads, no matter what super bike you have, you ain't going to be driving over 80 or 90 or whatever. You can't go beyond that. It's too risky. If you can, kudos, man. By all means, go ahead. Check that out. There'll definitely be a rush to it. I can understand that. And there'll be a rush to this too. Look at this. Chandigarh, the city itself, and this trail, it is so bicycle friendly. These days it's a thing for me now. I don't generally record it when I'm driving my car. I don't feel like recording as much. This just feels more indulging, for the lack of a better word. Indulging, yeah, that sounds about right. I don't know where these cyclists have come from. There were a couple of cyclists. I think they probably would have come down from Panchkula or Chandigarh. Those are the riders that generally come here. But it's quite a bit of a physical effort to be able to ride up here on a bicycle. But it's one hell of a liberating activity. It's just that when we're doing things like these, we'll get small glimpses of that projection going away for a second and we coming to reality for a second. Whenever we're 100% indulged for that little moment, we're able to see things and feel things very clearly, and then it goes back normal. The whole point of sadhana is to be able to keep that feeling and sustain it for longer periods while doing more complicated tasks like living your life. Like living your life, right? That's the whole point of it. And by the way, these people, they have these non-vegetarian pickles all over the place. It's just crazy. This place is famous for that, by the way. I've got to stop talking and got to just save some juice for the right place. I meant the battery, by the way. I've got a new camera, by the way. It's the Action 2 version. I'm in love with whatever DJI makes. It's just perfection. They just make killer stuff. I got an Action 2. I'm still setting up the rig for that. So I'm still using the Action 1 at the moment. I had a GoPro too, but I prefer these over the GoPro anytime. Alright, so we're here, which means we're just a few kilometers away from Dharampur. Now Dharampur is just like it's sort of like a junction, right? If you take a left turn from there, you'll head down to Kasauli. If you go straight up, that takes you to the road to Shimla, Kufri and then Narkanda. And you can take that route from there. In fact, you can go down from Narkanda, it'll go over. There's, prior to Narkanda, I think it's after Narkanda, there's this cut that will take you to Tattapani. That's one way to, these are amazing places. I'll see for how long I'd be here, and if possible, probably head down to Tattapani or Thyog. The one following that is a Himalayan, and that's one hell of a bike too. It's a very capable bike, and it's a league of its own. I mean, it has respect in touring, adventure circuits both. Ja mere bhai, I don't have that much patience. Alright.
Kindly keep the main door closed.
Oh god.
गजब बेइज्जती है.
This is the Kshai cantonment area. It's a very beautiful small town. Check that out. Look at the valley down below. This place is exactly where I stopped and ate last time. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna repeat that. I'm full of loyalty, by the way. Oh, so I'm not the only late person here. So there are other people climbing uphill too. Lot of bikes. Yeah, there was a group of naked and adventure bikes that went past. Then there was a group of Harleys, and the way they were going, there were about 20-25 of them. That could have caused a bloody landslide. That's how loud it sounded. In a good manner. In a good way. Just like a Harley should sound. There was a Perak over here. You see? There's one over there. So there are people who make bad purchases like me. I'm just kidding. This is one of the best rides I've ever ridden. Well, it's not that I'm gonna meet any of them, and highly likely I will not. Even though you just know that they're just doing their thing. And because I've been able to, there may be other people doing other things. That's their thing. But I don't know that thing, right? Because that's not my thing. You get the point, right? Because I know what these bikers are doing. That's my thing too. So it makes you feel a little less out of place, maybe. It makes you feel, good. Good that you're not the only person wasting time like this. And you meet any of them doing this thing, right? Even any other thing for that matter. You meet people doing what their thing is, and you'll notice how elated they are doing that. And it may not make sense to the person, who can't connect with that thing, right? If anybody's ever driven the Yamaha 350 or probably the old ESD, they know what this feels like. Look at this. I know I'm doing it in front of an Interceptor and it's not fair, but look at this. This is such a Java ESD sort of a punch, right? Look at that. He may be thinking I'm trying to chase him. I'm not, dude.